Hi guys, I'm Therese. Welcome to my channel. Today let's meet a young man, Steven, who has been in New Zealand for 6 years. He told me that his life changed dramatically since he came here. What did he experience? What makes him grow so fast? Is overseas study still worthwhile for young people? Why? Let's meet Steven and find the answer together. So please stick around till the end of the video and leave me a message about your opinions of study abroad.
Hey guys, my name is Steven. I am an early childhood teacher who has been studying and working in this industry for over 5 years now, and now I'm living and working in New Zealand at the moment. Yeah, this is who I am. If you're willing to spend some time discovering the fun activities here in New Zealand, like I always say, life is pretty fun here in New Zealand. It's chill, relaxing, not so much pressure, but you have to work hard for what you want. But I think that applies to anywhere in this world. So
what things have you experienced in New Zealand that you think is unlikely to happen in China? So what are they? What did you get from that?
Lots of things actually. I think first of all, from my studying experience, the ways the teachers taught me stuff, they were not just giving you the answer or provide you with a clear guidance and let you figure out the answer by yourself. So from studying, that's pretty much the biggest difference, I guess. And the second thing is living here, you have to pretty much do everything by yourself. Like a couple of weeks ago, my partner's one of her car's tire just exploded on the motorway, and we have to learn how to change put the spare tire on the car by ourselves. Well, if you're in China, I highly doubt that you need to do it by yourself. You can just simply make a phone call and then call someone. Some expert will probably arrive in like 5 minutes or 10 minutes, and then they'll do it for you for a reasonable price. But here, if you wanna, call AA or whatever insurance road service company to tow your truck or tow your car or fix your car for you, you're gonna pay a fortune for them to do it. So we have to do everything by ourselves. So life-wise, more independent. I think that's the biggest difference from living in China. Cooking by yourself. So in New Zealand, we literally cook. We cook a lot most of the time by ourselves because it's so expensive eating out, at the restaurants, especially after COVID, and the inflation these couple of years, everything, all the prices are going up, and not our salaries, so we have to try to save money by just cooking at home. I enjoy cooking, but not every day. We sometimes go out, but yeah, generally yes, I do enjoy cooking at home, and especially cooking for your loved ones. When they say, "Oh, it's really yummy," and I really enjoy it, you feel like satisfied. So yeah. I personally think there's no perfect situation. It is good, although I struggled a lot throughout the way, like how I grow, how I learn all these skills, and you feel hopeless and helpless sometimes. For example, like, your tire exploded and you actually don't know how to do it, and you have to learn from scratch, like, where are all the tools or spare tire? It's in the boot. Okay, cool. You open the boot, and then what do I do next? So you basically learn everything by yourself and from experiences. So I guess from that perspective, yes, it is good. But from the emotional burdens is not very good because you struggle a lot. Yes. Life is easier in China because you got so many people in so many different areas. They do their own stuff for you, so you don't have to learn everything by yourself. You don't have to master every single skills by yourself. But here, you kind of have to, because you're trying to save money, or you're trying to get things done faster, or you're trying to make your life easier by yourself. So I guess that's the difference. I think, generally I enjoy it, but sometimes it's really hard, when you feel helpless and hopeless. But generally I feel good. For me personally, yes. But as I said before, there's no perfect way. So I think studying overseas is definitely not for everyone. Because you have to study overseas, you have to sacrifice a lot and compromise a lot. As we all know, the cultural shock, right? Like you get to a new country with another cultural background, you will definitely experience the cultural shock. So for me myself, I think it's worth it because I've never really liked my education experiences in China. Since primary school, middle school, high school, I never really enjoyed it because of the ways that we do stuff. So yeah, definitely studying overseas is a brand new experience for me. But it is also a challenge for me, but challenging but fun. Yeah, that's how I would describe it. Cost of living is getting more and more ridiculous these couple of years. Before I came here, 1 year you will probably need around $18,000 New Zealand dollars to be able to live, including you need to pay rent, you need to pay for food, petrol, car services, whatever. And also another big part is insurance. But I think that number has gone higher and higher throughout the years because of inflation, COVID, and the war around the world, and a lot of things. So I would definitely say, you will need at least 23,000 New Zealand dollars to be able to live comfortably in New Zealand nowadays, because the rent is ridiculously high. And the price of the food is ridiculously high as well. So before, I think when I first came here, I could easily get a full trolley of food and grocery stuff for like 80 or 90 New Zealand dollars, but now it's like, that was like 5-6 years ago. So 5 and 6 years now. It depends on how your lifestyle, and how you want to spend your money, and where do you live, and what kind of houses do you want to rent. It all depends on that stuff, but definitely over 20,000 a year now. So.
How about the tuition? As international students, we know it's quite a big difference between those domestic students.
Yes. So when I was studying, I paid. My family paid because I couldn't be able to afford it. I couldn't afford it. So my family paid 19,000 for the first year because I studied bachelor degree. So I studied bachelor degree. So there were 3 years in bachelor the degree studying. So the first year, level 5, I spent $19,000, and then the second year you spent 20,000. Well, the second year it was 20, and then the third year was $22,000. But I think I heard from the domestic students they only pay like $2,000 for the whole year, or $2,000 with $2,000 or $5,000 with scholarship, but as international students. Well, my school, they don't really offer scholarship to international students, but every other big schools like Auckland Universities or Auckland University of Technology or Messi, I'm pretty sure they have scholarship. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they have scholarship. So it depends on which school you're getting yourself into as well. Yeah. But yeah, there's a big difference. If you want to come to New Zealand, you got to be prepared for that. So yeah.
And so what's the biggest challenge for you as a migrant in New Zealand?
I would say getting used to, adapting myself into the Kiwi ways of doing stuff, because after all, you live in the Western country. Although New Zealand is very diversity, is very inclusive, you still need to adapt yourself into the society, because I've seen many immigrants who never speak English, who never go to a Western supermarket. They only go to the Asian supermarket where the staff can speak Mandarin to them, or they never do any activities that requires English or that shows another culture. So I personally think it's important for you, if you decided to study or live in another country, you have to just tell yourself before you come here that you have to adapt. You have to adapt yourself into the local lifestyle. Just for example, like if you're a Kiwi person, if you're a Western white person, you decided to go to China, you can't live in China with a Western lifestyle, because it just doesn't work, So, and I think the other day when I went to One Tree Hill for a walk, I think I accidentally overheard a Chinese girl having a FaceTime or a WeChat video chat with her friend in China, I think, and she was complaining about New Zealand, like, oh, life is so boring here, you got nothing to do, but walking around and looking at the sheep or the cows. So I think she probably just, came here not so long ago, and she's probably still adapting herself into this lifestyle. When I first came here, I found life is boring and everything. But as you live here for a long time, you kind of get used to it and kind of enjoy this relaxing lifestyle, and then just like what I see in my videos, like you have to discover, spend time discovering the fun activities. Like I watch my friends playing baseball sometimes, or we go to a baseball match, or we go to a rugby match sometimes. Like you would never see this in, before. So like, I think it's good. You just have to adapt yourself into. You have to think through this before you have to think through this before you before you even decide to go overseas and study or live or experience it, because your parents or yourself might spend lots of money, you have to make the money worth it, you have to go out there and experience experience everything, a single thing, like the grass. You have to take your shoes off, walk around the grass, walk on the lawn, and just take your shoes off and walk around the beach and feel the sea, feel the ocean, enjoy the air, whatever, just be prepared, think about it before you decide, before you make a decision. Lots of not just local friends, but also friends from all around the world, like Malaysia, India, or I'm still making friends with my new neighbors. They just came to New Zealand, they just moved to our area. So from work, I've been working with a bunch of Kiwi ladies for 5 years now. So we are not just colleagues, so we're really good friends. And we still hang out time to time. But everyone's got their life now since I quit my job, So life has been busy. But yeah, I do have lots of friends and I do hang out with them a lot more often before, but now life is busy, so yeah, I think you definitely need to just like I said before, like think about it before you make the decision of going overseas and study. You have to bear this crazy weather, sunny and rainy all the time at the same time. So think like have some serious thinking about your the journey that you want to have overseas, and why do you want to go overseas and study or live or work, for example, and have a holiday. It must be that you want to have more new experience that you can't get from where you live, please stop. And this is the first one, and the second one is to get ready to be lonely, because life here is quite lonely. You are pretty much by yourself before you find some really, really close or good friends. So yeah, get ready to be lonely and be independent and learn as much as you can before you come here. For example, how to change a tire. It sounds ridiculous, but trust me, learn it. You will, it will be useful one day. And then I think just be strong, and if you ever suffer from any mental problems or disease, not disease, I wouldn't call it disease, like mental problems, talk to your friends, talk to your family, or seek, find a doctor, seek for advice. This is how I get through it. And then just work hard, study hard, make every cent of your money worth it. And that's it, I reckon.
Thank you so much.
No problem.